Well, the cast of Fox's X-Men are confirmed to be appearing in Avengers Doomsday, the next entry in the Avengers franchise. This movie is looking like it will be such an enormous blockbuster of worlds colliding. And honestly, I'm not sure what to think about this, okay? We had Deadpool and Wolverine as like this crossover event that was so satirical and pandering towards the multiverse, but even after putting that out and it being such an enormous success, Marvel has gone right back to doing a multiverse movie straight after that. And maybe this is the end of Marvel as we know it. I have a feeling this movie is going to completely shift the MCU and change everything, but is it too late and is it a bit lazy? I'm really not sure. What's up guys, Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. For more movie content, hit the subscribe button now. So as I said, Doomsday is looking like it is going to be the crossover of the century. I mean, if you thought Avengers Endgame was big, this one is possibly bigger. I mean, let's just read out a few of the major cast members that are returning in Doomsday. Chris Hemsworth is coming back as Thor, Anthony Mackie as Captain America, Paul Rudd will be there as Ant-Man, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier, Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova, the Fantastic Four cast will pop up, and of course an array of Fox X-Men characters and actors returning in iconic roles. Patrick Stewart is back as Charles Xavier, Ian McKellen as Magneto, Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler from X-Men 2, Rebecca Romijn as Mystique, James Marsden as Cyclops, and Kelsey Grammer as Beast. And I actually best know Kelsey Grammer as Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. That rate gag does not get old. I'm going to admit, on the surface, this is really exciting, but there are a few caveats to this that I actually really want to discuss here. And I'm curious to know your thoughts because I think the problem is Fox doesn't actually know what to do with X-Men now. Because I feel like after X-Men First Class and Days of Future Past, which are going back about 10 years now, that world and franchise just kind of slowly plummeted with, I think, X-Men Apocalypse and X-Men Dark Phoenix. And it sort of slowly faded away from consciousness with Logan, the third Wolverine installment, almost feeling like the closing of a book of this franchise. And it sort of was. Because in Logan, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine dies, Patrick Stewart appears sort of for the last time, and they were kind of the two major characters of the series. So Logan not only felt like a closing of the book of Wolverine's story, but also of the Fox X-Men universe. And that was kind of a good thing. I mean, the MCU was really taking off and it was sort of time for something new to happen. And Marvel and the MCU had been talking about getting the X-Men involved for a while, but I think everyone thought it was just going to be a clean reboot of the franchise and we'd be saying goodbye to the Fox continuity, which, to be honest, is perfectly fine with me. Then we get all this multiverse stuff happening. Suddenly, like, all of the existing Marvel properties are colliding. We first saw a glimpse of this in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, in which we saw Patrick Stewart appear as Dr. Charles Xavier. We also had John Krasinski as an alternate Mr. Fantastic, and several other alternate characters. And then Deadpool and Wolverine happens where we just straight out got Logan back. Of course, it was a different version of Logan, but it kind of did feel like a little bit of a betrayal, even though that movie was so good. And we also saw the return of some of the very early Marvel movie characters, including Blade and Elektra, as well as Channing Tatum as Gambit, which was a movie that actually never made it to fruition. Plus, Chris Evans returned in that movie as Johnny Storm from the original Fantastic Four movies. There is a lot going on here, I understand that, and please try to keep track if you can. But as I said in the intro, the whole thing with Deadpool and Wolverine was it was critical of the multiverse kind of thing, and that's sort of why it worked, because it was satirical and comedic and kind of saying, hey, this is the last time we're gonna do this. Actually, there is a quote from Wolverine at the end of the movie where he basically says it's unlikely that you'll see him again anytime soon. But we also thought that Logan was the end of Wolverine and that Hugh Jackman would never come back, and that was a perfect ending, but hey, I guess money talks. The thing is, to me, even though I'm so excited to see Kelsey Grammer's Beast and Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier again, I also kind of think it's a little bit cheap and lazy from Marvel because it goes against everything they did do in Deadpool versus Wolverine. I do think that this movie will be pretty good, but I think the only way that it can really work is if it kind of ends with a hard reset of the Marvel continuity. Bam! I know that is huge, but that kind of looks like what they're doing. I mean, Fantastic Four, which comes out later this year, does feel like it is set in an alternate universe, and that universe is going to clash with the MCU universe that we know, but also clash with the Fox X-Men universe. And then it appears that the Avengers and the X-Men are going to clash as well, and maybe that sparks some kind of Doomsday-like event. And maybe it kind of resets after that with like the Fantastic Four being the new heads of the new Avengers in a new universe. Maybe this is the final goodbye of the Fox X-Men universe. Except again, I kind of thought we saw that in Deadpool and Wolverine, where literally the 20th Century Fox logo was buried in the sand to imply that it's dead and gone. And look, I know that Kelsey Grammer's Beast did appear in the post-credit scene of The Marvels. Spoiler alert, should have done that before. Hey, it's been out for a while. But I gotta say, it kind of falls into the same category for me as Robert Downey Jr. returning as Doctor Doom. Like, it feels like Marvel is like, what can we do to get people back into this? And a lot of them do feel a little bit desperate. But I guess if there's one thing I can say for sure about all this that maybe counteracts everything I'm saying, is that this is the first time I've been really excited about talking about Marvel for a long time. And I am actually really excited to see what happens here, and maybe that's the point, and maybe it's working. So maybe I am being a little bit negative. I'm really excited for Doomsday. I really want to see what direction they take, and I really want to see the Fox X-Men again. So I don't know. I should also note that Chris Evans is returning in this movie as well. I mean, I'm not sure if he will be Captain America, if he will be Johnny Storm, or if he will be someone else entirely. We really don't know, but you know what? I'm excited. I can't wait for this movie now after talking about it. And sometimes my videos are just me having a thought about a topic and then wanting to talk about it to a camera to kind of process those thoughts. And I think that's where I've landed. Whew, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hey, if you like this video and you want more, hit the subscribe button right now and comment below. Do you think this is desperate? Do you think this is cool? What do you want to happen with the MCU? Do you think it's done? Do you think it's going to have a resurgence? I'm so curious on your thoughts as well. If you have nothing to comment, but you've made it to this point and you want to comment just to leave something to help the algorithm, just comment below, flame on. You know what it means, I know what it means, and it lets me know you made it to the end and you're supporting me. While I've got you, I'm all over the internet doing dumb stuff that I think is cool. I have a blog, I have a podcast, and all the links are down below. And if you want to watch more of my videos, YouTube says that you might like this one here, but you want to watch a bunch of Marvel related videos, I've got a playlist right here, so I don't know, just click that. That is pretty much it from me. My name's In Radio Mike, this has been The Inside of My Mind, and I'll catch you later.